In Enugu State, there lived a young man named Emeka. He was the first child of his parents. Years later, his parents had triplets, two girls named Sandra and Chidira, and a boy named Obina. Emeka finished secondary school with good results, but his dreams of going to university were crushed when his father had a terrible accident. His father's leg was cut off. From that moment, Emeka knew he had to take care of his family. But how could he do this? He had just finished school. He could barely feed himself, let alone his whole family. Emeka's mother had a brother named Sir James. Sir James was a very rich man. He lived in Onitsha and sold electronics. He was known across the country for his wealth. Emeka called his uncle and begged him to pay for his university entrance exam. But Sir James refused. He asked Emeka, "If I pay for your exam, who will pay for your school fees?" Emeka stayed quiet for 30 seconds. Then he said, "Uncle, I don't know. I just want to go to school so I can take care of my family." Sir James replied, "Emeka, do you know how many graduates are walking around with no jobs? Why don't you come and work for me as a sales boy for 6 years? After 6 years, I will set up your own shop in Lagos or anywhere in Nigeria." Emeka was shocked. "Uncle, I cannot leave my family. What about my education? I want to become an engineer." His uncle laughed. "Emeka, my son, you need to face reality. Look at your father's condition. You have 2 younger sisters and a brother looking up to you. You need to act fast. I will give you until this weekend to think about it. But first, I will call your mother." Sir James called his sister, Mama Emeka. After greeting her, he told her about the conversation with Emeka. She said she would talk to her husband first. That evening, during dinner, Mama Emeka told Papa Emeka what her brother suggested. At first, Papa Emeka refused, but that night he thought deeply about their situation. The next morning, he called Emeka and encouraged him to go because of the family's difficult condition. After the family discussion, Emeka called his uncle. "Uncle, I am ready to come." Immediately, the uncle sent him transport money. Emeka traveled from Enugu to Onitsha. When Emeka arrived, his uncle showed him around the shop. He taught him the prices of goods and how to sell and make small extra profits. Emeka met 4 other boys working there: Anthony, Joseph, Musa, and Steve. Anthony and Joseph were almost finished with their service. They had just 4 months left. But Musa and Steve still had 4 years remaining. Most times, the senior boys would bully Emeka. They called him slow because he was new to sales. When it was time to eat, they would take the bigger share and leave nothing for Emeka. Sometimes he would go to bed hungry. Whenever he complained to his uncle, Sir James would say, "Emeka, working as a sales boy is not a bed of roses. We all went through this process. Just be patient." Emeka would cry himself to sleep. One day, a customer named Mr. Moses came to the shop. He was a young man who worked in crypto trading. He came to shop for his new house. When he saw Emeka, he immediately liked him because of how smart Emeka sounded. "Why are you not in school?" Mr. Moses asked. "I am serving my uncle as a sales boy," Emeka replied. "Your uncle?" Mr. Moses said with surprise. "Yes, my uncle," Emeka confirmed. Day after day, month after month, Emeka got used to the business. He was gradually turning into an Onitsha business boy. He learnt all the tricks and how to convince customers to buy from them. Emeka started gathering the small profits he made from each sale. Meanwhile, Mr. Moses kept coming to the store to buy things. Whenever he came, they would have conversations. One day, Emeka asked Mr. Moses what he did for a living. "I work in crypto," Mr. Moses answered. "What is crypto?" Emeka asked. Mr. Moses explained everything to him. After 4 months, Emeka had saved enough money to buy an Android phone. Now, Mr. Moses could teach him about crypto trading. After 1 year, Emeka started seeing small amounts of money from his crypto trading. Then, he made his first 1 million naira. He sent his mother 500,000 naira so his siblings could go to school. Immediately, Emeka started acting stubborn with his uncle. He stopped staying at the store. His uncle called him to order, but instead of apologizing, Emeka told his uncle he could not continue serving. He wanted to leave. His uncle was angry and bitter, but he had no choice. He let Emeka go. That same month, Emeka made 50 million naira from trading. He moved into a good apartment. He brought his 3 siblings to live with him in Lagos. He put his 2 sisters in the best private universities in Lagos. And he also taught his younger brother Obina how to trade crypto. Month after month, Emeka's mother became the woman every other mother looked up to. She would buy different gold jewelry and expensive clothes. Emeka kept sponsoring his family. But without knowing it, he totally forgot about himself and his dreams. His sisters became some of the big girls in Lagos because of his wealth. Sandra, the first daughter, met a guy who worked in tech. He was also very rich. They got married and Emeka spoiled his sister with money. Everyone who came to that wedding had the best time of their life. A few years passed. Obina started getting money from crypto trading too. One evening, Emeka's friend came to tell him about a company that sold stocks at a good price. He showed him how he had been making millions from the company. Emeka was amazed. His friend showed him how to invest. He rushed and put all his savings into the account. After 3 months, the company went bankrupt. Emeka cried for days because all his money was gone. He started trading again, but nothing was working. After 3 months of struggle, his younger brother Obina moved out to his own apartment to start his own life. Emeka begged Obina to lend him some money to pay the rent. Obina said loudly, "When you were wasting your money, did you remember me?" Emeka was shocked. This was the person who lived in his house, the person he fed and taught how to trade crypto, the person whose school fees he paid. Emeka bit his finger out of regret and pain. He called his sister Sandra, who was now married. Sandra told him, "Call the friends you enjoyed your money with. Let them lend you money." Emeka was bitter and angry. He looked up to the sky and shouted, "God, don't forsake me." He picked up his phone to call his mother and tell her everything. But his mother took sides with Obina and Sandra. The only people who did not take sides were Emeka's father and his other sister Chidera. Chidera's life had not gone as smoothly as Sandra's and Obina's, so she was still living with Emeka. After 1 year, Emeka moved to a single-room apartment. Chidera moved to live with her friend while helping Emeka with the little money she got from her bank job. Emeka became the family joke. Whenever Emeka went to the village during holidays, his mother would tell him to use his teeth to open drinks for Sandra and her husband. He became a servant in his own father's house. Emeka's father and sister Chidera would complain, but Obina, Sandra and their mother would silence them. They would say, when Emeka was rich, who did he help? He wasted his money with his friends and Lagos girls. Emeka would cry in pain. After years of struggling, Emeka had no money to trade anymore. His trading signals became bad. He had no choice but to call his uncle Sir James and apologize. At first, Sir James was not ready to forgive him, let alone allow him to come back and work. But after weeks on begging, Sir James's wife pleaded on Emeka's behalf. Finally, Sir James agreed for Emeka to come back. This time, Emeka did not even tell his father where he was going. After the Christmas celebration, he took his bags, sold his phone for transport money and traveled to Onitsha. He started serving again. This time, he became more serious and determined. 4 years into his service, he became the one other business owners used as a good example for their workers. They would tell their boys to be serious like Emeka. After 6 long years, Emeka finally finished his service. His boss told him to choose where he wanted his shop. He picked Lagos again, but this time a different area. His uncle blessed him and opened a shop for him. All these years, Emeka's parents did not know where he was. The uncle did not tell his sister anything. Emeka started on a hard note. Business was not really good at first, but he did not give up. He kept pushing and working hard. After 4 years in the business, Emeka became well known across Lagos. He became a boss and started training other sales boys. This time, he knew how to save and calculate every penny that entered and left his account. Emeka became a big man. He became an importer and exporter. He invested in real estate. Finally, he made the decision to go back to his family. His uncle had talked to him about forgiving his family. During the new year, Emeka drove into his family compound with his new Bentley. Everybody in the compound stood up to see who was coming out of the car. To their surprise, it was Emeka. Immediately, Chidera ran and hugged him. They hugged and cried. Emeka's mother, Sandra, and Obina, who had also come to celebrate the new year, were shocked. They looked at Emeka from head to toe. Emeka asked Chidera, "Where is Papa?"
With teary eyes, Chidera replied, "Papa died 2 years ago and none of your phone numbers were reachable." Emeka cried in regret. This was the man who stood with him when everyone else turned their backs. His mother and siblings begged Emeka for forgiveness. Emeka said, "I have forgiven you all, but I need space." Emeka took Chidera and set her up with a beautiful business. Chidera started selling hair extensions and became popular for her business. Their mother, Sandra and Obina, regretted how they had treated Emeka when things fell apart. Emeka tells his workers about his story so they can learn. He teaches them to focus on their own well-being and also focus on their jobs. This is the story of Emeka, the boy whose family betrayed him deeply. Parents, learn to love and respect your children, no matter what circumstances may occur. And to every older brother or sister, help your family, but don't go out of your way to the extent that you forget about yourself and your dreams. The end.